Hello, I'm Matthew Chrisman, a lecturer working in ethical theory and the philosophy of language in the philosophy department at the University of Edinburgh. Today I want to explore some topics with you that are at the foundations of moral philosophy. I should say at the outset that the topics I want to discuss are controversial, not just in the sense that I'm going to discuss some philosophical theories that we philosophers haven't reached a consensus about, but also in the sense that I'm going to use some examples that raise controversial and often heated moral questions. My goal here is not to answer these questions. Rather, I hope to lay out some conceptual resources for thinking clearly about the issues and rationally debating them with people you might disagree with. The topic of this lecture is the status of morality. I think the best way to begin to get your head around what that means is to write down two kinds of examples. First, write down two examples of famous scientific discoveries. Next, write down two examples of actions that are morally wrong. You can pause the video here to write down your examples. Okay, we'll have four examples. Two examples of famous scientific discoveries, and two examples of actions that are morally wrong. I don't know what your examples look like, but here are mine. First, my examples of famous scientific discoveries are 1. The Earth rotates around the Sun. 2. Water is composed of hydrogen and oxygen. Second, my examples of morally wrong actions are 3. Genocide is morally wrong. And 4. Polygamy is morally wrong. It's not important whether your examples agree with mine. What's important is what we can ask about both kinds of examples. So look at your examples and ask yourself the following questions. Are statements 1 through 4 the sorts of things that can be true or false? Or are they mere opinions? If they can be true or false, what makes them true when they are true? If they are true, are they objectively true? Questions like these are not scientific or moral questions. They're questions about the status of scientific and moral opinions. I had you come up with two separate kinds of examples, scientific and moral, because I wanted to elicit the intuition, which many people have had, that morality is importantly different from science when it comes to questions about its status. For example, it's quite natural to think that my opinion that the Earth rotates around the Sun is not only the kind of thing that can be true, it is true, and it seems to be objectively true. By contrast, some philosophers have suggested that moral opinions, like my opinion that polygamy is wrong, are not the sort of opinions that can be true or false. Not really. They are mere opinions, or mere expressions of attitude. Other philosophers have disagreed, but they too sense a difference between moral opinions and scientific opinions. They say that moral opinions are not objectively true or false, but only true or false relative to a system of morals, or as somebody's moral attitudes. There's still another group of philosophers who deny both of these ideas and say that the truth or falsity of moral opinions is just as objective as scientific opinions. That is, they think that moral opinions, contained in our examples of morally wrong actions, aspire to the same sort of objectivity as the scientific opinions contained in our examples of scientific discoveries. This debate is debate about the status of morality. That's what I want to talk about in the rest of this lecture. I will explain three types of philosophical theories about the status of morality: objectivism, relativism, and emotivism.